Janatapi, Itaiko, Adam North Peigan, Piikani. Good day, my name is Adam North Peigan, and I'm from the Piikani First Nation in Treaty 7, part of the Blackfoot Confederacy, and I'm the chairman for the Piikani First Nation Mountain Child Valley Society. You know, the water in our community, the Oldman River flows through our community right from the east end to the west end. And as a child, I remember, growing up in my community in Brockett, and all the kids in our community came. Our main street is called Sesame Street, and in my younger days, all of the kids on Sesame Street, we used to go down to High Bush. That's where the Oldman River flows through our community, and we would play down there. We would gather down there. We would hunt. We would fish, pick berries. We'd go swimming. And during the winter time, we would go down there and play hockey on the backwaters, or we'd do a little bit of ice fishing and stuff like that. And at that time, the water flowed through our community. It was very, very, very good at that time. And it was basically a place that we could go play. But as an adult now, I'm 60 years old. As an adult now, when I look down at High Bush, I can see how it has really deteriorated. Our water flow and our river banks have really, subsided. That's a result of industry, what industry has done to our community over the course of the last 40 to 50 years. And, so it's no longer a place for our children and our young ones to go and play the way that I used to do it when I was young with a lot of other kids from the community. So it's really disheartening what industry has done, to our water flow and our water streams. And it's, we're really, really concerned about that, moving forward. I would say, it started off probably in the early 1980s, or the late 1980s, early 1990s, when the Oldman Hydro Dam was built just upstream from our community. And when that had happened, we had the Lone Fighters clan, do something they enacted and to protect the environment, and the water flow. But how government works, and how industry works, they're going to push through it anyways. And they built the Oldman River, they built the Oldman Hydro Dam, and it's really affected, our clean water flow through our community. But over the course of the last 3 years, we've seen a threat to our water flow and our environment, within our Piikani First Nation ancestral territory, with the threat of open pit coal mining. That industry is looking at moving in and doing open pit coal mining and exploration. And, so I came, really concerned probably about 3 years ago. And what had happened was, on social media, everybody's on social media. There was a lot of our Piikani members that were reaching out and putting on, social media, their concerns, about the threat of open pit coal mining to our waters, our soil, the air that we breathe. And I started to see a lot of this happening. And so what we did is we organized, an advocacy group of nation members, grassroots nation members that were really concerned about what was going on. And we formed an advocacy group, and we went to ceremony, and tobacco was offered, and the elders in our community bestowed the name of the Mountain Child Valley Society. And that's what we've been doing is, for the past 30 years. Industry has come over from Australia, and they've moved in and wanted to begin coal exploration and open pit coal mining in our community, and to offload it to foreign countries, for I guess the making of steel. Right? They need coal to do that, and right at the outset. What we've heard from the perspective of the nation members is that there was consultation that was done by industry. There was consultation that was done by the government of Alberta, as well as the government of Canada. But that consultation happened only with our elected leadership, and that's where it stopped. The nation members, we have never really had the opportunity to be fairly consulted on the threats to our environment, and that's kind of where things have continued to go down that road. And now that and at the end of the day, the Mountain Child Valley Society, we're able to work with our partners, within the environment, and we're able to shut down, Benga Mines' application for open pit coal mining by the Joint Review Panel, the Alberta Court of Appeal, the federal government of Canada, and we were able to shut it down. And at that time, we were really, really, excited, because what that meant is that we would forever be able to protect our ancestral territory. Because as Piikani Nation members, we are stewards to the lands, to our ancestral territory, a place where we used to gather, a place where we used to go hunt, a place where we used to go fish, a place where we used to go, pick our medicines. And so we've been deeply concerned about that. And at the end of the day, when we were able to shut it down, what had happened is that that company went and rebranded themselves and renamed themselves as Northback Holdings. And essentially, it's the same company. And they are continuing to pursue permitting for exploration of Grassy Mountain within our traditional territory. And once again, the consultation that has happened with our elected leadership, but that's where it stopped. And the nation members are left out in the cold, and we don't really know what is going on and what is in the impact benefit agreements. We've been really, really shut out. And I think it goes back to, meaningful reconciliation. Government that talks about, meaningful reconciliation with First Nation communities. Well, what that means is that, when you're going out and consulting, you really need to consult the members as well, and leaving them out in the cold. And our leadership at home, they could have done a better job as well, in getting that information out to the community, but they haven't. So the community members are facing no alternative with what limited information that we have to be able to, to form our own opinions, to be able to say no to any kind of coal exploration in our ancestral territory. Where Grassy Mountain is located, it's in the Crow's Nest Pass. So you have Coleman, you have Blairmore, you have Frank, you have Bellevue, and those small villages and towns, they put it to a referendum. They had a referendum within those communities. And those people that are living in those communities are non-Native brothers and sisters. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, even though there was, not very many people that came out and participated in that referendum, they managed to push the yes vote. For open pit coal mining. So what had happened is that our leadership at home, our chief has gone on record, most recently, and said that we are going to have a referendum in our community as well. So the Mountain Child Valley Society and the members, we really need to push getting as much information out to the community as possible, whether that be through brochures, community meetings, community functions, going door to door, and educating our members on the threats to open pit coal mining and what it's going to do to our community. Because when you work with with industry, they have a lot of resources to push the yes vote, because ultimately that's what they want. So we, the members of the Mountain Child Valley Society, we have to be very resourceful, in our own backyards about creating awareness and and going down that road of educating our members on there's two sides to the coin, right? Open pit coal mining, yes, it will bring jobs and communities and economic revenue to our community, but we, the members, feel that there's better ways to create jobs in our communities. There's better ways to create, economic revenue coming into our community. Why not participate in projects that are more, that protects the environment in renewable energy, stuff like that. So it's not that we're against economic revenue, but it's how you do it. And open pit coal mining, in our ancestral territory is not the way to do it. I'm proud to be Blackfoot. I'm proud to be Piikani. I really care about the community that I come from, and I really care about our livelihood for many generations to come. Not, my grandchildren, our, great grandchildren. We need to do what we need to do to protect the environment, and we're gearing up for a referendum that's going to happen sooner than later in our community. And within our community, from the members, there's a silent majority that we feel that that have been that are threatened, by becoming involved because they may be employed with the band, or they may sit on a board or committee of the band. And there's fear of loss of jobs. You know what I mean? But when you participate in a referendum, you have the responsibility to vote on your own personal conscience. And we're asking, our members to exercise your right to vote based on your personal confidence and not so much on the threat of what it may happen for you. We want everybody to know that, we firmly believe that open pit coal mining is a threat in our community, and we need to, we're pushing for, a no, to stop open pit coal mining in our community. Your way.